Hi, it's Tara Green. Welcome, members of Cosmic Intelligence Agency. We're here to talk about December 2016. Can you believe it? The year is already over. So there's a lot of change this December. 3 planets change signs. Mercury will go retrograde for the 4th time this year. Yes, we get an extra Mercury retrograde this year. There's going to be a lot of action around Christmas time. New moon in Gemini, full moon in Capricorn, and Jupiter opposite Uranus. So those cardinal T-squares are still applying, especially for people around planets around 20-21 degrees. So let's look at what the tarot cards have to say for each of your signs. Okay, so Aries, let's start with you. Okay, so Mars has been in Aquarius, which benefits you quite well, and it will enter Pisces on the 19th. And Mars is going to make a fateful meeting with Neptune right on New Year's Eve. So let's see what advice the tarot has for you. Okay, now, this is the Prince of Cups. Now, the Prince of Cups is like Scorpio. And so I would say, especially because Mars is going to meet up with Neptune right at the end of this year, it's going to bring your year to a close in a very, very deep emotional place. You may be feeling kind of lost, very much submerged in the element of water, foggy. That's the downside. Do be careful how much you drink or drug on New Year's Eve. But the thing is, also with this Scorpio element, it's like you need to open up to the feelings, everything that's been repressed. You've got to remember that Pisces is the 12th house of the unconscious. All of your repressed emotions, anger, this is Scorpio energy, which Mars rules, may come up to the surface. So you have to be ready to handle it. So don't act it out and don't repress it. Because the New Year's is also the beginning of 2017. It's very important how you handle it. So I would really be careful that you are forewarned that you're going to go into your depths. You may feel out of your element very much so, but welcome it. It's a clearing, a cleansing, time of forgiveness and letting go. All right, so Taurus. Now, Venus has been in Capricorn, which has been very nicely trining you as an element, and it will enter Aquarius on the 7th. So let's see, Taurus, what do you need to know right now? Oh, wow. This is very nice. You got the wishing card. I think all the times I've done this, I don't think the wishing card has come up even once. So, Taurus, this is your lucky month then. The wishing card is a very beautiful, very benefic card. There's only one card like this in the entire deck of 78 cards. So, you know, I think you've been working really hard, and this is where you need to refill your cups. Now, I know Taurus does like to indulge, but maybe you haven't looked at where you need to receive energy to keep the good energy flowing. It is really like a big blessing. So I would think about, you know, what you wish for. You know, that old adage about be careful what you wish for. It is really, really true. So make a list, especially there's going to be that Capricorn full moon, which also benefits you. So the Capricorn full moon, and then of course at the winter solstice on the 21st is, you know, the turning point in the year. So make sure that you do list all your wishes, think about them, and really incubate this as you go into 2017. Okay, so Gemini. Now you get a full moon this month on the 13th, and of course your ruling planet Mercury goes retrograde on the 19th at 15 degrees of Capricorn. It will retrograde back into Sag right on the galactic center. All right, Gemini. All right, now this is very nice. Now, this is an earthy card, the 6 of discs. All of the 6s are at the center of the tree of life in this arrangement. So success, material success. So you need to focus on getting very grounded. So perhaps while Mercury is going retrograde in Capricorn there, you can review all the seeds you've planted, all the work you've put in, and really, you know, because we are at the end of the year, we also want to think about 2017. Of course, for a lot of you, you know, Saturn has been giving you a hard time, Gemini, but maturing you. So it's really good that you invest back into yourself, you know. This is a time when a lot of you are going to be facing a lot of hardships. Make sure you put away some money for a rainy day and, you know, feel good about yourself, feel strong about yourself. It would be good to make sure you're eating properly, exercising, really being embodied so you can enjoy life to the fullest. Saturn is not all bad. Saturn is also really good. Okay, so Cancer. Now, all full moons are, you know, kind of you in your element, of course, and the full moon is going to be in Capricorn, so that will be opposite your sign on the 28th. So definitely you're going to be feeling quite sentimental that time of year, and there's going to be a lot of planetary activity around Christmas this year as well. So, really stay grounded and stay focused. Now, this is a princess, and again, these princesses are very unique, very special cards. So the princesses represent the earthy element of whatever the element is. These cards are also connected to the I Ching, so anybody who works with the I Ching, it is the earthy element of fire. And as such, for you Cancers, because of course, you've had Venus and Pluto, all of that stuff opposite your sign here, and then Jupiter squaring you as well, you need to be much stronger, much more courageous, much more fearless. I know your tendency is to, want to be safe and, curl up in a little fetal ball there at home and nurture yourself and eat and take care of others. But you really need to look at where you need to challenge yourself in terms of really getting out of your house, getting out of your safe place, getting out of the box. There's like new adventures waiting for you. I mean, Jupiter is giving you blessings this year, and it will continue well into 2017. So think about where you're holding yourself back, where you need to get out of your comfort zone and really take a leap into the unknown. So Leo, now Saturn in Sagittarius is good for you, and anytime the planets are in fire signs, it's beneficial to you. And the Sun will trine Uranus this month, so that can be really great for brainstorming, think tanking, new ideas. Again, there we go. Okay, the Lovers. Okay, so what's happening in the relationship department with you, Leo? This is the card of Gemini as well, which may seem kind of crazy having Gemini assigned to what's called the Lovers in the tarot, the number 6. Again, we've got the 6s are at the center of the tree of life, indicating the heart chakra. Where do you need to make choices, Leo? Again, are you paying enough attention to your love life, to those you care about? Saturn may be making you a little bit too hard, a little bit too restricted, a little bit too strict on other people. Maybe you need to just give everybody a little bit of a break here. So really, I would use the Sun trine Uranus energy as well to think outside the box, to think about what your new goals are for 2017. Jupiter is also giving you benefits, so things should be expanding quite well. A lot of you may be thinking about settling down and getting more serious. That's what Saturn brings you as well. So enjoy. The Lovers is a good card, very positive. You need to love yourself. Do I have to tell a Leo that? Okay, Virgos. So of course, Mercury is going to go retrograde, and that does affect you as well on the 19th. Okay. So the Sun and Mercury also conjunct at the end of the month, which is also good for you, very positive and energizing. And I know a lot of you are under the Neptune, Saturn difficulties as well. And then Mars will conjunct Neptune. So, that can affect a lot of you Virgos as well. So let's see what you got here. All right. So we've got the Prince of Swords here. Now the Prince of Swords is kind of like Aquarius energy. I know Virgos, you think a lot, you overthink, you're workaholics, you're dissecting, some of you are OCD, you make great accountants and organizers, but you can drive yourself crazy with self-criticism. So especially when Mercury goes retrograde in Capricorn, in an earth sign, which is benefiting you, really cut out whatever isn't necessary. It's like just like the picture says, this is the mind, the swords going in many, many different directions. Focus on what you want to eliminate. You're doing too much. Give yourself a break. Slow down. Saturn is also giving a lot of you restrictions. Your health could be having some challenges as well. So really look at where you're overdoing. I know this is going to be tricky for you, but use that Mercury retrograde to your benefit. And of course, all of you who are born under a Mercury retrograde, 20 to 30% of the population, I really believe that Mercury retrograde is beneficial to you because you're in your own zone. So finishing out the year on Mercury retrograde, don't think about starting new things right away in the new year. Give yourself time. If you have to eliminate one thing at a time that you don't really need to do or fix or take over for somebody else, just let it go. Just try it. Okay, so Libras. Now, Libra, this is your big year in 12 because Jupiter is giving you these big benefits and blessings, and Venus and Pluto are giving you those squares, which can be very wonderful. And then Uranus and Jupiter are going to have an opposition this month. So that can really rock your world. Now, we have the Princess of Swords. So again, this is the earthing of air. And you are an air sign. We got to remember that. So Princess of Swords, again, looks quite similar to what's going on in a way for Virgo here. Eliminating, you're too distracted, you know, Jupiter can be too much of a good thing, too much socializing, too much partying, too much indecisiveness, too much quarreling, too much back and forth. We can see how divisive the world is these days. I really think that's Jupiter in Libra rather than making the peace that we think. It actually makes people take opposing sides. So I'm sure you're doing tons of negotiations and, you know, balancing things out for people, but you may be feeling really overwhelmed. So at the Jupiter-Uranus opposition, you know, this is at 20 degrees. This is the further cardinal T-squares that have been building up since 2012. I believe they're even stronger now. So, you know, be ready for chaos. Be ready for change. Change is a good thing, you know. Chaos is the doorway of all creativity, so welcome that change. Be as open and flexible and have plan B and C ready, okay? All right, so Scorpios. Now, Mars has been in Aquarius, which is kind of detached, and that's been a good thing for you. It's always good for Scorpio to get a little detachment there. But then Mars will enter Pisces on the 19th. So, again, this is good for your element, and then Mars is going to conjunct Neptune on the 31st. Okay, so on New Year's Eve. Now, just like this picture looks here, it is actually showing Saturn in Pisces, but Mars in Pisces can have you just drowning in delusion, in illusion, in fantasy, in addictions, in, you know, being too messed up in other people's stuff. Maybe things are backfiring on you, you know, at the lowest level. You know, all Scorpios can be quite manipulative. So be very, very careful how you use your power. If you're a Scorpio that's been more evolved, of course, you still have to be careful that you don't get dumped on now with projection, with other people's stuff. You know, this is Pisces energy, right? So all of your own shadows that you haven't worked on, they're going to be thrown back in your face, probably like a big tsunami here. It can be extremely creative, though. You know, Mars and Pisces trining your sign, very creative. So all people who are writers or singers or artists, musicians, really, you know, delve deeply into that creative ocean. Can be really wonderful, and really mind those emotions and move out all that old sludge, you know, getting into the muck and the bottom. That's where all the good stuff is. That's where the lotus grows from. So don't wallow also in misery, you know. Use this Mars and Pisces as a time of forgiveness and letting go. When you let go, you get more space and more energy. So have compassion for yourself. This can be an amazing healing time for you as well. Chiron also turns direct on the 1st. So use this month as a healing time. You know, go to a spa, get into those nice baths, really cleanse, cleanse, cleanse. Okay, so Sag. All right, now you've just gone through all those nodal squares, and Saturn is moving pretty fast there. So Saturn will trine Uranus actually right around Christmas time. It is going to be a lot of fire trines, so it should be quite an exciting Christmas. A lot of traveling, a lot of movement. And so, let's see, now, you know, Saturn and Sagittarius can be difficult. You have to be careful that your heart doesn't get blocked, that you don't feel defeated by Saturn. You know, this is literally Saturn in Leo here, which rules the heart chakra. You know, Saturn, if you really bless Saturn, if you really give Saturn his due, you know, Saturn is the principle, the architect of all reality. So anything you're going to build, create, from a child to a project to a job to whatever it is, you have to pay Saturn his homage, and then he will be very good to you. So I would say, you know, use Saturn wisely. Plan your travels. You know, be careful when Mercury is retrograde. Of course, traveling might be a little bit crazy over the Christmas holidays here. But have more courage. This is the other thing. Saturn in Leo is a sign of courage. Don't get stuck. Open up your heart. Look at where your heart is blocked, especially at the winter solstice. This is the beginning of the next 3 months period. So look at where you need to open your heart. All right, Capricorns. Okay, now, it's been a relatively good time for you, I would say, with Venus in Capricorn for you, and you know, Pluto's still doing his thing there. So Pluto's moving up pretty fast as well. 20 degrees of all the cardinal signs seems to be the trigger point. So if you have planets there, Capricorn, pay attention. Now, there will be a in Capricorn, a new moon in Capricorn on the 28th, with a lot of activity also at the end of this year. So this is the Knight of Swords. So Capricorns, maybe you need to step back. Maybe you need to look at your big life plan, your business plan, and get a little bit detached from it. Sometimes you can just become so focused on the material plane you forget about everything else. So I would say, you know, with Saturn, Sagittarius, this is very much about lightening up. Maybe you need to take a trip. Maybe you need to go to a museum. You need to learn something new. Think out of the box. So free yourself from feeling so focused on always having to get the job done. Lighten up. You know, the Knight of Swords, it's Gemini. Look at things from two perspectives. You know, it's the energy is very intense still. Give yourself a break. Okay, Aquarius. Now this is going to be a huge, just like Donald Trump says, month. Okay, Venus enters your sign, so everybody's going to love you, and you got to love yourself too. So do everything outside the box. Do everything you love, you know. As Mercury goes retrograde, you know, it does affect you too, of course. Now, there is that Jupiter-Uranus opposition and the Sun trining Uranus. So right around Christmas time, huge time for you. Really, this is the sign of the Seven of Wands. So the sevens represent laws of cycles. So this is where you really push. This is a time of revolution. You know, Jupiter opposite Uranus. You know, you haven't seen anything yet. Starting at Christmas on the 26th, Venus trines Jupiter on the 25th. So use the courage, really move from your heart. You do see a higher consciousness, a higher perspective for the world. You know, the whole thing about the Dakota Access Pipeline. You know, whatever you feel there's injustice, and there's so much injustice in the world, we need you to stand up and to be the leaders and the way showers and the people who aren't afraid to speak from their hearts, you know, because the heart really knows. So you need to step up to the plate and don't be shy anymore. Just give it your all. You're a natural leader. People are waiting for you to do this. So take courage around Christmas time. Could be a lot of change for you as well, but you like change. Step up to the plate. Speak from your heart. All right, so Pisces. Now, you know, you've gone through these whole Saturn, Neptune, North Node squares here, and now Mars will conjunct Neptune right on New Year's Eve. So see this as a very fateful, positive, you're in the spotlight, Pisces. Now, the Hangman. Okay, have to move some cards here. Okay, so the Hangman is a very, very special major arcana. Now, there's only been 2 of these that have shown up in this whole cycle. So the Hangman is related to Pisces in that the Hangman is really about surrendering. It's like an emotional baptism for all of you, and in a sense for the world. So Mars conjunct Neptune, you know, what do we need to let go of? What old ideas, belief systems, karma that we're carrying, we have to let that go. You have to let it go. The Hangman really represents the god Odin, the Norse god Odin. He's hung upside down by the world tree, and that's how he gets all his wisdom. So it's not by using the ego or the mind. It's like everything you thought it went a certain way, it's totally upside down. So this is a huge wake-up call for you, Pisces, to see things from a totally inverted, a different perspective, and that will bring you incredible wisdom. Also, it is the symbol of knowing when to let go. So Pisces, we know that you're going to hang on and root for the underdog and believe in your fantasy and project what you want to see, but if you see it from the opposite perspective, you're going to maybe shocked awake, and then you'll have to let go. So I would say this is a deep immersion time for you into, you know, really sinking into the waters of the unconscious, really creating something new, because Pisces is all about creativity and moving from the spiritual perspective first, making those dreams real. So don't be afraid of being a martyr, but don't be a martyr. Don't be a martyr. Don't give up yourself for other people who don't appreciate you. This is what you need to let go of. You know, surrender is a good thing. Surrendering to the moment. This is what enlightenment is. You know, allowing, just being. It is what it is. So that surrender is very, very wise. So, Cosmic Intelligence Agency members, please spread the word. Tell your friends to join as well. We really need you to get on board. There's amazing, wonderful, top-of-the-line astrologers working for Cosmic Intelligence Agency. So, as you can see, the sun is shining, and I take that as a sign of synchronicity. It's a beautiful day here today. The weather is kind of crazy, but it's very warm here today up in Toronto. It is my birthday as well. So I'm feeling very happy, and I send you many blessings. And think about, this year has gone so fast. I haven't even really gotten into 2017 yet. It's going to be a very exciting month. So try to stay grounded. A lot of change, that Jupiter-Uranus, as I said, the revolution is going to start everywhere. So I send you many, many blessings. I hope you've had a wonderful 2016, and I look forward to speaking to you again about 2017 soon. Blessings.